Well, Andy, as you can see, the new buses are here, and just one of these buses cost the city just under $500,000, but there are a lot of new features that the old ones didn't have. However, I can show you that better than I can tell you, so follow me inside. Well, most people in the deaf community have to depend on their facial expressions to help them communicate, but with masks recommended, that's becoming a bit more difficult. Black Lives Matter and silence is violence. That's just some of the signs that you can see here at Elwood Park, where hundreds have gathered to show and remember the life of George Floyd. Organizations around the country are giving kids with disabilities a chance to get away from their everyday struggles, and they're doing it all through hunting. Officials tell us that it will continue tomorrow around 8 a.m. From Lake Meredith, I'm Crystal Martinez, Fox 14 News. Now, the event isn't just for adults. In fact, kids are encouraged to come and write their very own letter to Santa before he leaves for the North Pole. Since 1982, the MASH military-themed blood drive has served as a way to replenish Coffee Memorial's blood bank after the holidays. Now, this year, that need is just as important, if not greater, due to the pandemic. More news, weather, and sports coming up at the news at 6. The flashy classic cars,
It's a 62 Cadillac.
the outfits, and the music. Lowriders are the spitting image of Chicano culture, and for many here on the High Plains, it's more than just a hobby, but a way of life.
It's the culture, the Chicano culture, Mexican-American culture, and it's more about family and getting together and having a great time.
Juan Lozano, president of Nueva Vida Car Club, says lowriding can carry a negative stigma after movies portrayed lowriders oftentimes as gang members. But Lozano says he's trying to change that.
Me as a pastor, I take it the opportunity to use the car as a ministry and to minister to the people that are into that culture.
And it's not just for men. Over the years, women have shown a love for lowriders as well.
I got tired of just looking at all the guys, showing off their cars, and for a change, I thought I want my own. And so I went out and got one.
Sylvia Garcia says aside from the paint and hydraulics, there's the touch from the whole family that goes into a lowrider.
When you start fixing up a lowrider, then you get the teenagers involved and the kids involved, and maybe it gets them, I guess, so involved that they're not trying to get into trouble or do other things they shouldn't be doing.
And as far as clothing goes,
More of a classy thing, Having a nice engine's a plus, but it's more of the looks and the style. It's a smooth style.
a smooth style that takes a little of the past and makes it cool in the present. In Amarillo, Crystal Martinez, Fox 14 News.
We're still in shock about this.
Dark smoke rose throughout the streets of downtown Amarillo, and many watched from the sidelines as family support services went up in flames. Amarillo Fire Department's Captain Kyle Joyce says despite firefighters' efforts, the building could not be saved.
Family support services section of this building is going to be a total loss. The roof has collapsed down on top of that.
For those who work at FSS, seeing the building burn is heartbreaking, but it won't stop them from assisting those victims of abuse who need their help the most.
Our safe house, which is off-site, luckily has not been affected by this. Luckily, all the safe house residents and our safe house staff are safe, so that was a blessing.
FSS members say the community's concern has been nothing short of amazing.
The outpouring of community support from other organizations and from the community offering help already. The fact that so many people have already reached out, it means a lot.
For now, Family Support Services will work on finding a new home and ways to rise from the ashes.
So we're going to move forward, and I believe we're going to come out of this stronger and better than ever.
In Amarillo, Crystal Martinez, KAMR Local 4 News. Hospital staff in rural areas are having to do double the work with the influx of patients coming in COVID-19 positive.
We have challenges, with staffing, with hiring nurses, with hiring enough paramedics and EMTs, and so what that means in a rural area is you typically do more than, my normal CEO job, for example.
CEO of Hereford Regional Medical Center, Jeff Barnhart, says he's not just running a hospital, but jumping into a former role. His history as a paramedic and his current EMT certification allows him to assist when needed, especially when more people are out.
We also had the issues of staff starting to get sick now and having to fill open holes. And with that, we have to do jobs that we don't normally do.
But staff say transporting patients in need is something not seen as a burden. According to Hereford Regional Medical Center, the drives can take a toll on the hospital.
It definitely takes 2 crew members out of service for at least 5 hours if we do a Lubbock transfer. If we do an Amarillo transfer, we're looking at about 3 hours out of service.
But to those on the front lines, including Barnhart, the #1 priority is getting the patient to the hospital in a safe manner. Safety for both patients and staff.
Majority of our inpatients right now are COVID positive. This is not the flu, and this is something not to be taken lightly.
In Hereford, Crystal Martinez, KAMR Local 4 News.